Yeah, we're doing our bit here on Expresso Show too, and we're going to help you do your bit at home, and especially if you've got your own garden. So earlier, we had Kaashif Toefy, who is the founder of KT Grows Organic. Now, that's an organic farm based in Philippi, and he's here to tell us how to start our own organic garden in light of course, Earth Day. Now, keeping your garden alive and thriving doesn't only take love, care, and attention, but plants also need to eat too, just like us, yeah? So that's why compost is so vital to keeping your plants happy and nourished. Now, Kaashif, we were chatting to you earlier, obviously, your farm, where you're doing such incredible work, you're educating everybody around you, you've got this incredible market, which I believe happens at the end of every month as well, which is talking about things like compost, things about organic solutions to living a better sustainable life, man. But when it comes to being at home, excluding your farm, because I'm sure you're already doing this, is this something we can replicate in our own home, in our own garden?
Absolutely, John. So just to give you some insight to what we have in our area, Kaapkraal, Philippi, in terms of soil which is native to the area, is that.
Is that over there? And that looks pretty common to me if I look around at gardens and houses and things. So it seems like the standard soil I would normally see, eh?
So if we plant directly in this, we're going to need lots of food, and the food which we use is obviously compost.
Yeah.
Commercial farmers, they try their best to provide it with as much compost as possible, but there are poisons which are used, and the poisons actually destroy the earth further and the soil.
So those poisons is what's damaging this earth and getting it to this state.
Yes.
Which kind of looks a bit to me like it's a bit dull and lackluster, not much nutrition or
I'm going to ask you a simple question. If you were a plant, would you like to eat this or this?
So that would be like, I would look at that as like a dry slice of bread. And then this is like peanut butter, jelly, maybe toasted. It's got all the good stuff. So this is my meal over here.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So what we're going to be talking about now is how do we get to this point?
Yeah, and it's darker. It's a lot more moist. There's a lot going on in here, apart from like, what seems to just be like, now that I'm looking at this, that looks dead. I'm not going to lie. It just looks like, I don't know, not alive.
Yeah, it is. And it's very simple to get to this point. Every one of us in our homes, we have the ingredients to be able to create this. And this gets created from kitchen scraps. Okay. So the kitchen scraps are the nitrogen, right? And we have paper, newspaper, cardboard, which is the carbon. If you shred this down, or not necessarily shred it down, but just cut it up into smaller pieces, and you add 50% of this in terms of volume, to carbon, which is your cardboard, your newspaper, dry leaves, which you spoke about earlier on. You put those two together, add a bit of water. You don't want it soaking wet, more damp, and then oxygen. Just turn it regularly.
So you're saying you're literally taking these offcuts and throwing them into your soil that you may have at home. Is that what you're saying?
You just create a little heap, and then you layer them carbon, nitrogen, water, carbon, nitrogen, water. And then add a bit of, if you have access to compost, add a bit of compost to that because it's good bacteria which will help break it down. If you don't have access to compost, come to our farm, we'll give you some compost that you can add into your mix. And then just a bit of water, regularly turning, and you create compost.
All right. So what are the different variations here? So obviously we've got what was and what the potential of it could become. What's happening in between here? What's going on here?
So we plant in direct compost, right, which is nutrient-rich minerals, vitamins for the plants. We then take mulch, and this mulch is actually your material, the material that comes from your garden, which you take to the local municipal tips. They shred it. It should actually be given back to us.
Okay.
And I do think that we should make effort to changing policy so that this material can become available to everybody so that we can contribute to saving our planet. We take the mulch, we cover the compost with the mulch. What the mulch does is it retains water, and it also allows for a fungi to develop underneath. And this fungi is very important for the plants because it takes water and minerals and sends it to the plant. which produces the beautiful, healthy foods which we eat.
So that's like a supplement, like an upgrade. And if we had mulch, and then in theory, and we could throw it over most of our soil, that would literally invigorate a lot of the land that we have in our country, right?
Absolutely.
So why are we not doing this? Come on, Mzansi, let's get involved. This is a clear-cut solution. And for me, the question maybe is, why are we not farming this way as well? Why are we adding unnatural and unorganic pesticides? Is it just a matter of profit, or is it just a lack of education?
I think it's a combination of a lack of education and probably resources that's not available. And the resource that's not readily available is the mulch, even though it comes from our gardens.
Yeah.
And I think that if we were to make effort to changing policy so that this mulch can become available, we'll definitely be contributing to the world in a positive way.
I love that, man. Well, Kaashif, thank you so much for sharing your magic with us and getting us one step closer to growing our own garden. It literally actually seems so simple. I mean, literally from our offcuts of veg, from dead soil and creating mulch, we can create some beautiful, beautiful compost, man.
I just want to add, and so this is actually what our compost looks like after we've planted. And you can see all this mycelia, there's roots that's growing there. So how does this develop? This develops as a result of a no-till system. We do not till the soil at all. By tilling the soil, we destroy the soil. All the micro little bugs and animals and earthworms, they all die because they don't want to be exposed to the sun. And so this is just rich in vitamins and minerals.
Rich in life and all that potential.
No tilling. It's very important that we don't till the soil. And so we regenerate our planet in that way. And it's based on the principles of regenerative farming.
Oh, listen, Kaashif, I could chill and sit with you the entire day and get stuck in. And I think I'm going to. I think I'm definitely going to visit your farm, though, because that's where a lot of this education is happening. But you guys at home, let us know what you are going to be growing in your organic garden. And, of course, let us know and send some pictures on our social pages, because I think you're one step closer to being your own organic farmer.
Cool.